This is the Transformers Generations Legacy Evolution Voyager class comic universe, Tarn, the head of the DJD. And here's a look at the awesome artwork on the packaging. I picked up this figure from Robo. For me, the best hobby shop in Singapore. Let's get this bad boy out of packaging. And here is Legacy Evolution Tarn out of packaging. This guy is the ruthless leader of the Decepticon Justice Division, a true zealot to the Decepticon cause, the biggest fan of Megatron's principles. He's so loyal to the cause that he will do anything to uphold the Decepticon cause and just decimate anybody who stands in his way. He's so loyal that he actually emblazoned the Decepticon logo on his face, and the guy is practically a sociopathic murderer. He'll do anything for Megatron's cause and the whole Decepticon cause. Now, the figure is just absolutely eye candy. When you take him out of the packaging, you just want to keep posing him around, just playing with him. It's not without its flaws. We'll talk about that later, but this is one of the better figures in the Transformers Legacy Evolution line. I cannot wait to show it off to you guys. Let's take a closer look at the details of this figure. So head to toe, he stands at about 16 3/4 centimeters tall, or about 6 2/3 inches tall. And for comparisons, here he is with Voyager class Netflix Siege Megatron, as well as Voyager class G-Axis. He's about a smidge shorter than both these figures head to toe. The figure has fantastic details, just absolutely gorgeous sculpting all around. I love the purple and gray colors that this figure is made of. He's got some gold, metallic gold highlights here and there, lots of shades of purple and grays. I really like the color combination and the palette that the designers chose for this figure, for this character. It's so close to how he looked like in the comic books, but we'll talk more about that later. Okay, so he comes with 2 blaster rifles that you can mount on this piece. You can actually form I'm gonna put down these 2 blasters right here. You can form shoulder cannons. That's pretty cool too. They're really intended as sidearm cannons. So what you want to do is replace the blasters this way. And they do form arm-mounted cannons. I thought that was pretty cool. And probably the best feature of this figure is you take both of these blaster cannons. He can obviously hold them. You don't have to open up his fingers, which is actually a pretty good addition to these new Voyager class figures. But it's not the fingers that hold the peg. There's really a circular port right there. But here's like the best gimmick that this figure has. And you take both these blasters, these rifles, and then you join them together. Just like what the box says, this is the new Evo Fusion gimmick that these Legacy Evolution figures come with. And with that, he's got this huge sniper blaster rifle, I should say. He can shoot down Autobots. I mean, such a cool gimmick. I mean, this really sets this line apart, the Evo Fusion. Articulation for the figure. The neck is on a ball joint. There's a little bit of a hinge right here because of transformation. He's got a waist swivel. The shoulders can go in and out. You can go forward and backward. There's a little bit of a hinge right here. On my copy, the right hinge on the elbow is a little bit loose. You'll have trouble supporting the blaster cannon when he's holding it and you have him posed like this. A little bit of a shame, but it's okay. There is an elbow swivel and an elbow hinge. The wrists are on swivels, and he's got some finger articulation. The legs, the hips can allow him to do the splits. Do forward and backward, thigh swivel, hinge knees. that go like about 120 degrees. There's actually a sort of double jointed knee action, but mainly because of transformation. The joint essentially is just a single hinge, but if you want to detach that other hinge, the transformation hinge, you can actually make him fold up 180 degrees. So that's pretty cool. The feet can go up and down and have the rocker tilt. Now, as far as plastic quality goes, man, on point. Such great quality of plastic. I kid you not. Nothing is cheap about this figure. Everything is just spot on. Premium quality plastic. This is how you do it, Hasbro. Don't give us the Armada Starscream cheapo plastic. This is the kind of plastic that you should be consistent with every single release from this day on, moving forward. Evolution, Legacy Evolution figures, and the next series. Please keep plastic quality like this. This should be the minimum type of plastic quality we should receive for every Legacy or Generations figure release. Okay, my biggest gripe about this figure is that this figure is flat as a pancake. I mean, look at this. He's like, what, half an inch, 3/4 of an inch thick? And if you remember how he looked like in the comic books, he had a little bit of girth. He had some heft to him. Kind of felt like he was kind of a Hulk because of all his bulkiness, his beefiness. And Hasbro decides to make him super thin. Most artists would draw him as really such a beefy bruiser, really a huge enforcer in the comic books. Here's a photo of the Flame Toys version of Tarn. I think they did it a lot better than Hasbro. I think the proportions are so much better. Look at this guy. This is how Tarn should look like. Just very, very imposing. This is by Mastermind Creations. This is their version of Tarn. This is, I think, Kultur. And look how beefy this figure is. And again, look at the heft, the Hulk-sized proportion, chunky mass that the figure has. So, transformation, put the weapon off to the side. We'll start from the back. Fold these guns down, unpeg this turret, and rotate. You want to unpeg the chest. And then the instructions don't say this, but he actually transforms better if you rotate the head and then you fold it down this way. That way, the mask is not impeding the turret, this front turret. You want to split these shoulders, and then you want to rotate them down like this. This will allow you to fold up the front part of the tank. And then these shoulders are going to complete the rotation 180. You want to rotate the shoulders up like this. You want to fold this out like that. Rotate, and then rotate the fists 180 degrees like that. Okay, do the same on the other side. You want to open this flap, rotate like this, and then rotate the fist 180. Your guide is really this angled hinge right here. They have to be outwards, and then this peg hole right there has to be facing in, because that's, you're going to tab the arms onto the thighs. Okay, that's what we're going to do now. To do that, you want to join the legs first, fold up the feet, and then you want to detach the second hinge that I was talking about during articulation. It's a little tough. Okay, you want to detach that hinge and then fold it up, this, and then join the feet. Just keep it that position for now. That will allow you to tab in the arms here. Okay, then you see those pegs right there. They're going to slot onto the feet. And then the turret's just going to squeeze in, my bad. Okay, like this, and then you can fold the feet. All that's left is to fold these extra bit of tank treads. Fold out these panels out like this. Unpeg tank treads. This is probably the toughest part of the transformation. It's a tight fit. You want to fold these panels right here, push them in. It feels like they can't be folded inward, but just keep pushing. Just do it very gently. You don't want to chip or break any of the pieces. I think that could have been improved, could have been better if they measured the clearances properly. And then fold these down like that. There you go. Essentially, that is the tank mode of Tarn. Now, the instructions say you put the turret right here. That's actually the comic accurate look of the turret. But there's also a way to just, if you rotate this piece right here, you can put the turret out in front. I thought this was more, it looked more badass because it's just more firepower up front. And he's like sleeker, he's a little bit more streamlined. There are no wheels though. There's just molded in sort of wheels. I mean, that they could have put some wheels there. It just slides along. It doesn't roll. I mean, it's a Voyager class figure. I would understand if it were a deluxe class, but yeah. And again, like I said earlier, his robot mode was flat as a pancake. The tank mode, if you remove the gun, it's very, very flat. And I remember in the comic books, the tank treads were a little bit bigger. Tank mode was a little bit beefier. Now for comparisons, let's bring in his fellow Cybertronian tank. We've got Skullgrin right here. This one is a deluxe class figure. And if you put them side by side, they kind of feel in scale. In fact, Skullgrin is almost as long as him. So, yeah. Okay, now Skullgrin won't be lonely in Cybertronian tank mode. He's got Tarn to go with him. And so some final thoughts on this Transformers Legacy Evolution Tarn. Well, it's not a perfect figure, but it's a pretty good figure. I think the engineering was on point. The colors are amazing. Paint apps are great. The aesthetic, the way he looks, this is a comic book version of Tarn. My only problem, again, is really his lack of mass. He's just too thin to be Tarn. I think that's just my opinion. I don't think that should deter you from getting this figure. This is a really, really awesome looking figure. It's just that I was expecting him to be a little bit more Hulk-ish, brutish, a little bit more mass to him. It feels like he needs to work out more in the gym, because in the comic books he was huge. He was a big bruiser, and Hasbro kind of didn't get that part of the design for Tarn. So with that, I'm going to give the figure a 9 out of 10. He could easily well be a 10 out of 10, basing it on just how he looks and the engineering. But the lack of mass really bugs me, and I wish they could make him bigger. You know what? A few years down the line, maybe they can turn this guy, they can re-release him as a leader class figure, and maybe we'll get that beefy, chunky Tarn that we see in the comic books. But until then, I think 9 out of 10 is fair. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of this Transformers Legacy Evolution Voyager class comic verse or comic book universe Tarn. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my latest video reviews. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.